Hello, guys. Hope you are doing well. This is TJ, and you're listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. And this is my review of Impact Wrestling. And this week's Impact Wrestling was a very good show. I like this show. We had a very good, very excellent match, I would say, between TJP and Josh Alexander for the X Division title. And it was a 60-minute Iron Man match. And I was so excited ever since it was announced last week. And this was a very, very pretty great match, I would say. Yeah, you can say it. Whatever you want, because this was that type of match, and sure, it will be coming in that match of the week contender, or you can say match of the month as well. So this was a great match from the beginning to end, and we know how of a good wrestler TJP and Josh Alexander are. They are a very good mat based wrestlers, and they have great technical skills, and they actually they displayed their all of the talent and skills in this matches. And this was a wrestling clinic, I would say. If you want a match that's kind of, you want to see kind of a very slow and methodic match, kind of a counter to counter move back and forth, that kind of matches, move to move, hold to hold, this was that type of match. One thing I didn't like, it was kind of I won't say that this made a major negative in this match, but because the last stretch of the match actually entertained me as hell, because the drama that created was very good. But in the starting 30 minutes or something, a drama was not that very there, because we know that 60-minute match is very hard to put, and you build it up slowly and slowly, because you don't want to just give it away to the fans. So that's why I think that's the nature of the build up for 60-minute match, because we don't see 60-minute Iron Man matches kind of thing that much, because it's a once in a year, or maybe like in a 3 year 2 year or something, we see a 60-minute Iron Man match from wrestling promotions, main wrestling promotion, you can say. Yeah, WWE, we haven't seen WWE's last 60-minute match or something, I don't remember. So kind of an Iron Man match, I'm saying. We'll be seeing like 60-minute match or something, singles match or something, but I'm not. I'm saying Iron Man matches. Iron Man matches, we haven't seen that much in recent times or something. And Impact did a really great job at this match, and this really pumped up me to the whole show actually. And it actually pumped me kind of a very high range, I mean excellent range. But the show was not that excellent, I would say. It was kind of a good to pretty good, I would say, in the that of a range. But the wrestling was good, I would say. And this match, if I want to say, like I was discussing, the first 30 minutes of the match was kind of a counter to hold and back. We saw close line spot, we saw some tiger suplex, we saw flying DDTs, and we saw that TJP speed and quickness that was coming through into this match. And that was the advantage of TJP, while Josh Alexander is also very quick, but he's at the moment kind of a wrestler, because he takes some offense, and at the right time he just strikes you, and you would be surprised by that, because that's that champion's instinct that he has. So that was good. And so the and another, as I was saying, the negative point that I felt about Small, that was there were not much near falls that were there in the early going, in the 30 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes. In the 15 minutes, 45 minutes, after 45 minutes, this match got interesting, and it had the pace. And the match was getting into fast pace, because the slow methodic wrestling, I like that kind of wrestling. But after watching that over kind of a 30-40 minutes, you kind of think that match should be get to that high gear, because you feel that you should get to the high gear, and you should get to that urgency. That urgency feels it, for us as well as the wrestlers who performs. So that's my kind of a small negative point. I'm not nitpicking, but that's my opinion. So but nevertheless, I can say that this was a very great match. You should not miss this match. And this was the main match that Impact Wrestling this week had that spotlight on. And in the last, we saw 60 minutes was over, and that when 5 seconds was left, TJP actually rolled Alexander, and he got to the pin. And Josh Alexander got the pin by that by the pinning predicament of bridging up the neck bridging the neck over and pinning the shoulder, that kind of pinning predicament that he had. And only 10 seconds was left, and TJP actually reversed Josh Alexander's that pinning predicament. I think so. That was a submission or something. Yeah, yeah. That leg lock. Yeah, leg lock, ankle lock, and he actually reversed it, and he got the pin at the right moment, like 2 or 1 second was left, and it was then announced for a sudden death. And after these 10 minutes was and every time these 10 minutes are very great, and the drama it created. I mean, that was very good. And we saw the trade strikes with Alexander getting the better of the fisticuffs, and TJP lands a headbutt, then a very flurry of strikes to Alexander, and Alexander avoids a kick, then rolls away from a standing Phoenix splash, and forward Samoan drop, then from Alexander, then a moonsault, but TJP then kicks out, and powerbomb backbreaker from Alexander, then and TJP kicks out at two again, and Alexander wants that death knee, get it to death knee and get it the win. So this was the finish of the match, where Alexander hit the death knee and get the win, and Josh Alexander retained the exhibition title. And the final score is now is 2-1, because before they had wrestled as well. So maybe we could get another match or something. And after the match we saw they were respecting each other in the backstage. So I would say this was a 4.5 star kind of a 4 to 4.5 stars. Not the best 60 minute, if you say, that's arguably kind of thing, but it was entertaining. I mean, Impact did put on a very a great 60-minute Iron Man match, I would say. And then we saw in the back the Good Brothers talk with Don Callis, and they are happy that Callahan and Moose on each other, so they didn't have to actually wrestle them. And they see the cameraman; they are discussing kind of a plan to ruin the main event, actually, because the main event was Moose versus Sammy Callahan. And we go to break then, and back from the commercial we then go to Alexander, talks about his how tough iron matches are, and Eddie Edwards comes up and applauds him. And in the final moments, the whole locker room actually came out to see this match, because as they were stating that it's going to be the impact zone, we are getting into that impact hour. So all of the main wrestlers locker room was there, and Scott Demore shows up and thanks them, both of them. And TJP Axel congratulates him for the great match that they had. And then we had some then we had uh, then we had Rohit Raju's match, but before that we also had some exhibition guys comes up and to Scott Demore, and here they were discussing about they want that opportunity for the exhibition title. And Scott Demore didn't finalize anything. He just said that this is interesting. You should discuss about that kind of. I thought about that something would be kind of a number of contender or over the top battle royal would be there, because there were 5 to 6 superstars that were there. So maybe multi-man matches or something in after against all odds, because I don't think so. They can, because they had did last time as well, Deanna Purrazzo versus that women's title match they had. They actually had that one day build up actually. And back to the ring, and we got to the first match in the Impact hour, which was tables match, because this exhibition title match was a BTI match before the Impact match, which comes before the Impact Wrestling show actually, and it's actually shown in YouTube. You can watch that. So match second, which was tables match, this was announced last week between Rohit Raju and Jake something, because Rohit Raju, Jake something, and Shera, they had that something going on, because we know that Jake something's opportunity was caused by Rohit Raju before Under Siege, that a number one contenders match. I had discussed about in every Impact Wrestling show, this Impact Wrestling show review in these things. And Rohit is a very good wrestler, man. He's so good to see. And He's cunning, he's very fast, he's very quick, and he was literally controlling this big guy. But we also saw some table, and this was a very good table matches, because lots of table teases, table break teases was there. And then we get to some bad some psychology as well, when psychological stuff as well. Rohit Raju's psychology played out very well, because he hit the low blow at the apron. I literally hated him even more after this. After that, I saw, and he was literally chopping, and he was literally controlling this guy, this big guy. And Jake something was not able to do anything actually. And he eventually picked up the victory actually, by spear into the table. So in the finish of the match, we saw double storm Jake, as Jake is draped over the setup chair, and Jake staggers up. Rohit with some kicks, trying to drive Jake through the corner table. A charge from Rohit, but he runs into a black hole slam. We saw multiple black hole slam, and it was over for Rohit Raju. Rohit Raju tried very well. I thought about Rohit Raju would be picking up the victory, because last time he picked up the victory with the help of Shera, and Jake hauls Rohit up and drops him with another black hole slam. And Rohit staggers up, clinch into a chair, which he throws into Jake's face, but Jake actually escaped it. I think so, or I don't think so. It hit him to his face. So then he spears him into the table, and this was a finish. And this was a very good opening match to the Impact show, and two great matches, excellent match, and a very good laid out tables match. And Jake something finally won a match, and I think so. Jake something would be going with Shera now, and I want to see that match. This would be a very good match, like big guy versus big guy kind of match. And then we saw in the back, Morrissey wants a match with Rich Swann. He discusses with Scott Demore, and Swan wants a match with him as well. So this was announced, and the next match was this. And then we go to the another segment in the back, where Rosemary says last week they took Deonna Purrazzo into the whole other world, because Rosemary actually defeated Deonna Purrazzo in that 8-man tag team match. She was the one who pinned. So she's the number one contender, but Havoc had the same thing, and Rosemary versus Havoc is going to happen next week, and that's confirmed. And if Havoc wins, she would be added to this match, because it would be a triple threat kind of a three-way match for the knockouts title. And it's interesting. I don't want Havoc winning, because I don't know why, but I want the singles matchup between Rosemary and Deonna Purrazzo. I don't know why. It would be making interesting, but because I don't know why, because lots of three-way match with lots of triple threat matches that we are seeing in many promotions right now, in WWE, in Impact as well, in AEW, lots of three-way matches. So I'm kind of bored right now. It's women's, but still I am thinking, I'm in my opinion like that. So Havoc winning, I don't think so. She already had the opportunity, and she had Deonna Purrazzo already defeated her at Under Siege actually. And I don't think so why she's getting though. So if you don't know, Rosemary and Havoc, they are in the same group, that DK faction, and DK members are gonna collide next week. And if Havoc wins, she would be added to that match, making it a three-way match for the Knockouts title. And then we got to the match, Morrison versus Swan, and Morrison actually jumps from the. This match was confirmed actually, but the match didn't begin, because Morrissey actually violently brutalized. Attacked Rich Swan, and Rich Swan. I want a match between them. They are way past after this attack and all, and I don't want to see every time this attack. And Babyface needs to have something. So security comes out, and he tries to he compose his anger, and he goes away. Okay, segment. I would say I thought about that he would be coming back again, because. Eddie Edwards actually, yeah, I think so. Eddie Edwards, uh, yeah, I think so. Eddie Edwards was there. Yeah, Eddie Edwards. I want to watch that. No, not Eddie Edwards. Willie Mack. Willie Mack actually came across, and he actually hit a chair on Morrissey as well. And Morrissey was angry, and securities finally actually calmed him down, and he got away. Okay, maybe. This match is actually confirmed next week. Willie Mack versus Will Morrissey, and they had this match actually in the pay-per-view. but they just want to have that match just to fill the time. I think so. I'm not that kind of interested in this match. Will Morrissey, his debut was good. After that, his performance was good in the pay-per-view, and after that, after this program for this one, I am interested in that. But every week they are just doing that brawl kind of thing. I want a match, and I want this guy to something to come into that. I'm not saying that come into X division or something. Maybe tag team division would be a very good kind of but he needs to find a partner actually. And if he is introduced in the tag team division, that would be good, because he would not be fitting in the X division champion title picture. And in fact, world championship picture is full right now with Moose, Sami Callihan, and Kenny Omega. And we don't want this kind of a debuted superstar to come through. So that's my view on this situation. And then we got to the Rachel Ellering and Tenil Dashwood segment, because Tenil Dashwood is still trying to have that tag team setup, and Grace come and they have the match. Because this after this match we got that knockout tag team title match, Fire and Flavor, Kiara Hogan and Tasha Steeles versus Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. And this was for the tag team title match, and this was a very good match. They had multiple matches in many weeks, and they actually work very well. It's just like I can say by WWE tag team match that we see over and over again, like a yeah, that Natalia and Tamina versus kind of yeah, the kind of that stuff. Because Fire and Flavor, they are very good, they are doing very well in that character, and they are really good, doing good and doing justifying that knockout tag team championship really title very well, and they are representing it very well, and they are doing the best. And I like both of them, both of the performers. I do like them, and they are very weekly they are improving a lot. And Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering, and they are a good team as well. But I actually smells a dissension that's going to happen in a near future, I would say. Not next week or so, but after the pay-per-view or something, I smell that Jordan Grace is turning on Rachel Ellering, because I think so Rachel Ellering would be a very good baby face than Jordan Grace. Because Jordan Grace, she's a more fat girl than Rachel Ellering. Rachel Ellering is also fat, but we can obviously say that Jordan Grace is more fattier than Rachel Ellering. So this match was very good. We have that quickness and speed and that cunning style of Fire and Flavor, trying to steal and trying to do the heel work by getting the victory. And we saw Jordan Grace and Rachel Ring work together. But commentators actually Scott Demore, no, not Scott Demore, the commentator actually Josh or D'Lo Brown actually said that after she was going to tag, but they had some communication. And D'Lo Brown actually said that that's not what I see kind of thing. He said that's not what I expect kind of thing. And they actually teased us that they are not in a good relation kind of a thing. But that actually didn't gave them the victory actually. Because Ellering tosses in the finish we saw Tasha dives at Ellering on the outside, and Ellering catches her, but Tasha hits a DDT, and Kara Hogan is illegally, and they double team Grace, but Grace fights out at the corner, but she's unable to, and Hogan grabs a sleeper. Grace can't slam free, because and then Tasha flies off the rope top with a splash and pins Grace to retain the title. So a good tag team match, I would say. Good tag team knockouts tag team match. Good match, I would say. They work well every time, and they are fun to watch. Nothing to say much about. And then Fire and Flavor actually comes after to Scott Demore as well. They want opportunities, and we have Susan and Kimberly next week versus Fire and Flavor. Uh, Actually, this is gonna happen in the pay-per-view against All Odds. I'm not so interested how what it makes to be challenging for the Kimberly and Susan. I don't know why they are just comedic tag team. I think upon. I don't see them as a tag team champion. Just it would be a bad match. kind of I think so. I want him Fire and Flavor to win. And then we saw Sami Callihan say he cuts his promo. He says he isn't afraid of Moose, and he was cutting the promo. And Don Callis comes and he actually tries to do that stuff he does every week. Tries to get in the head, and he says that Callihan is kind of a journeyman. He's not a you are not you don't come into that Impact Championship picture anymore because you are always that kind of guy who just kind of get over, to get over or something, to get a match over just to help the other superstars to get over kind of thing. And Callahan is not listening to that, and he actually tries to shut up John Callis. And this was a segment, and then we got Kojima and Eddie Edwards shake hands in the back. And after this, because we were going to see the Kojima match, and we saw Macklin. And Macklin, if you don't know, this is the guy of WWE, Steve Cutler. If you remember the Forgotten Sons tag team, which was a very good tag team in NXT with if you know Jackson Riker, who have just betrayed by Elias, and they have the team. Jackson Riker was before in this team, the Forgotten Sons team, and Steve Cutler was also a member of that. And after coming to the main roster, they were kind of planning a push, but they didn't have, because some superstars were kind of facing some injuries, but that's why that push didn't have that. They didn't have that, and they were released. And this is the guy, Steve Cutler, and if you know. And then we got to the fourth match, Satoshi Kojima versus Diener. I am excited to see Satoshi Kojima in Impact Wrestling, because he's a very good wrestler. I have seen some matches of him, but I'm a fan of him. I won't say that I'm very big fan of him, but I'm a fan of him. But he actually expected this match would be a very good match, but that was not the case. This was a well worked match. I would say Diener was good, Kojima was good, because they are building up to that match between Kojima and Joe Doring against All Odds people, which is next week, if you know, next week Saturday. And this was a short match, nothing kind of a thing that I want to say. And in the Kojima awards, we saw Kojima awarding a corner rush and lays the Kobashi style chops in the corner. There were some good here and there moments and all, but this whole match was not good. I didn't like that very much. And Dina catches him with a swinging neck breaker for a near fall as well. And Kojima awards a DDT and drops Dina with a brainbuster for a near fall. Some interference, but Eddie Edwards chases them off with kendo stick, and Kojima with a Koji cutter and the Hansen lariat follows to the pin and win. And this was the ending of this match. A good match, I would say, not a kind of I expected kind of a match, a very good match that I thought about, because the debut that he had after that, this match was kind of a bummer for me. I mean, at this level of superstar who is Satoshi Kojima, and so just to get him over in the for that match, so that's why. But he's still looking good after this. He has 30 years of experience, and he's still looking good. He's a very aged wrestler. He has experienced wrestler, and he's performing very good still now. It's just like Yuji Nagata. But I would be placing Yuji Nagata at the top of Satoshi Kojima. I like Yuji Nagata more than Satoshi Kojima. I can say that. And then Moose had his promo after this match. Moose talks to the camera, and here's Don Callis again, and he wants Moose. He's just talks good about him. He's the one of the athletic guy, and he's the champion guy. He's the dad. He's the this. Lots of things that he does, and he doesn't want to listen, because Moose actually said that when you said, "Hey boy, I actually stopped listening to you, and I don't want to listen to you," and just said to warn Kenny Omega that to keep that belt shiny because he's gonna take it at against all odds, as he says. So Don Callis is trying to get in the head of the challengers, and because they are having the match in the main event, Moose versus Sam Callahan. And then we have Violent by Design talk, because they actually don't see failure as a failure, and and out comes Crazy Steve and his friend actually show up, and they also had this kind of a segment last week as well, and we also had that confirmed match as well. Decay versus Violent by Design would be good match. They are being they are being showing that segment for 2 weeks now, 2 to 3 weeks now. So I'm pretty interested. It would be a good tag team match, kind of a good style match, faction versus faction kind of match. So it would be a good one-off match in the pay-per-view. So that's good. I think so. That's good booking. Not nothing to. I mean, lots to say about. I am saying that again and again. But nice change for the booking for Violent by Design. They are going with DK, and I like DK team members and all. They are just intimidating, and they're just so good in that character. So, and then we saw Young actually agrees to it, and when they have the match, I think confirmed. Yeah, commentary. Then we got commentators rundown lineup for Against All Odds, and we then head to the ring for the main event, and which was Sami Callihan versus Moose. And I was very excited to see this match, but the match, I don't know why, but this doesn't catch me actually. And this week's wrestling actually booking was good. I would say we didn't see some Swinger Palace segment or very dirt segments and all, very overshadow, very kind of a bad segments and all. We didn't see that. We didn't say over segments and all. Many segments and all we didn't see, but still I would say the matches laid out was not that kind of in a level, kind of a very good level I would say. But still it was a good hour, a good 1.5 hour of wrestling. And I would say Sami Callihan versus Moose, they actually this match had a lot of pump kick, and they were doing this move over and over again a lot of time. This was a back and forth kind of match. We also see some environment being used in the ringside as well, in the early Sami Callihan being driven into that ring post. And this match actually had the selling where Moose had that Sami Callihan actually was standing near the barricade actually, and Moose actually gets running to him, and he just moves upon Callan actually moves upon, and he just hit that barricade, and that would be hurt man for him, because that's so strong man. And he actually harmed this actually damages his arm, and the whole storyline was based around this. And I won't say that this match was so bad or something. The storyline, the psychology actually played out very good. That arm selling was very good by Moose, very excellent selling by Moose. And he was a big guy, but Sami Callihan did put pressure on him. And and we also saw Callihan blocking a Uranagi attempt, and Moose climbing the rope, but Callihan grabs him and hits a death valley driver for a near fall. And we also saw Moose up after him and sets for a superplex, but he was unable to do because of his arm being damaged. Selling was good, and Callihan attacks the arm and breaks the hold, and then headbutts Moose down, and Moose struggles to feed. And this match was going good, I would say, not a very good level, but as it was going, the match main event was going to the close of the show. It was going good, I would say, but they ruined it. I mean, I mean. The Good Brothers and the Kenny Omega came out, and the Good Brothers actually attacked both of them. Kenny Omega actually comes up and attacked, and he attacks all of them. And and the finish of the match, we saw Callihan hits a headbutt, and the Callihan heads to the second rope, but Moose actually with a standing drop kick and go to hell off the ropes. And that was very nice by that kind of sit up power bomb from the top rope. That was very good done by. So there was good moments as well in this match, and the selling was great. That was a highlighting point of this match. Back to the arm from Callihan, he traps a bad arm and hits a pile driver for a 2 count, and Callihan calls for the end of the match, but the Good Brothers run in and ruin this match and hit the magic color to end the match. And this actually made the situation interesting, because closing of the show made the show actually interesting. Actually, they closed the show well. And I am saying that from few weeks I'm saying that actually Impact Wrestling show is actually closing the show very good. Opening is a kind of a that you expect. This show was very good, but the closing that they do with a kind of a what will happen at this with this kind of thing. That's kind of questions that they come with, because every closing moment is some kind of changed changed manner by Impact show. So that was good. And if I want to tell what happened, actually, Omega and Callis actually walked on laughing as brothers leave Moose and Callihan on the mat, and some storms from Omega, and they are going to the back. And Scott Demore walks up and says that was a flashback to Under Siege actually, and Good Brothers were gone off, and because these are the two big guys who want to, these are the guys who want to discuss. They are not the main guy. They are the main guys, and they don't want to discuss about this booking and all. So Scott Demore says that, and Scott Demore says Callahan won, so he's in line for a title shot because this was a DQ, if you know. So Sami Callahan actually won the match because of that. Ruining the match and having a Sami Callahan the victory, and Callie says he can't just do because of their agreement with AEW and stuff. And Scott Demore made the situation interesting by saying next week Tony Khan is gonna be here, and I'm gonna have a discussion in the Impact Wrestling show, Impact show next week. And Don Callis says that Demore is not proud about what Callis is not proud about what Demore is doing, and what and Tony Khan and Khan will be here next week to figure things out as it was announced. And Callis actually thought he and Demore were a team too. I thought you were the team, as Don Callis says, and Don Callis is a very good manager. And ever since Don Callis was announced into the Kenny Omega storyline, he's just so good actually. He's just so good, and he's like a into that level of Paul Heyman as well. I can say that he's the Paul Heyman of Impact Wrestling, and all have that thing as well. Paul Heyman, John Callis, and they are being compared right now, and that's very good. So I actually am interested to see Tony Khan next week, and I think so. This would be a three-way match. Lots of three-way match that's gonna come. If Havoc wins, that's gonna be also a three-way match. We have WWE three-way match coming. I think so, we had actually in the pay-per-view WrestleMania Backlash. We don't know if the WWE Championship would be, or the Universal Championship. I don't think it's the Universal Championship. WWE Championship. Who's the challenger there? No, that's Drew McIntyre only. So I'm glad that WWE is not doing that. So triple threat matches, I am kind of not kind of a very bored or something. I can't see or something, but lots of triple threat matches are doing the rounds actually, and that's not a very bad thing. But over and over, it feels like it's like doing it's like they are doing so many triple threat matches. So that's my opinion. This was a very good show, I would say. Before the Impact match was an excellent match, a 60-minute match. You can say the half an hour that was building up that match, and after that this match was very good, and you can watch it the whole show as well. Very good show. The wrestling as well was very good, nothing wrong to say about, and they actually build upon the card for the against all odds. And they Impact Wrestling is one of the better booking show, I can say, because they don't just hurry the matches and don't just book the matches. They don't do it like that. Their booking pattern is very different, and they just, after the pay-per-view, they just get into the business and they just start booking one by one, piece by piece, and their booking is very strongly good. And Impact is doing very better, and was very good. And we can see Impact gaining some maybe you can see Impact gaining some new television deal or something coming up in some years, or we can see Impact Wrestling going up to the over the WWE as well, because WWE, they just have the name. Actually, they are not doing good. I'm not saying just like that, because the NXT booking that they had this week was not good. Even though I can not say like one match, one show book, okay, but what's the matter for Raw? It's Monday Night Raw. This show is been booked so wrongly and so very bad. I mean, I can speak about this like for many hours actually, because that's what I feel about Raw. So I don't want to prolong this review. I want to not ruin this review. So that's my review of this Impact Wrestling show. Very good show. You can watch it through, and Impact is really very really doing good. Thumbs up for that. And after next week is going to be the go home show, can say, kind of, because after that next night, the next Saturday, you will be getting the Against All Odds pay-per-view. The card looks good actually. We have Kenny Omega versus Moose versus maybe Sami Callihan would be also involved, and we have Tag Team Championship that I am not interested that upon, and Deonna Purrazzo versus, I want to see, versus Rosemary. I don't want to Havoc being introduced into that, and DK versus Violent by Design. That would be also good, and some other are grudge matches I will as well, I think so. Maybe some exhibition over the top battle royal or something for number one contendership spot or something, or maybe fatal four way or something you can see, because Ace Austin and all is coming back. And I still want to see is I'm still interested to see Ace Austin coming to that X Division picture, because he's the X Division trademark. I can say that he's two-time X Division champion, and I have so many kind of seen his matches in his X Division championship picture. So I think so he should be winning, because he's into after losing that X Division title, he's not finding any booking and all, and he's just coming back into this picture again. And I want him coming back, and maybe TJP. I don't know TJP what he's gonna do, but. That's there. And I actually missed upon one something, that BTI before the Impact match, 60-minute Ironman match. That match, I had one thing that was TJP didn't get that of many near falls, that he was kind of making an offense to Josh Alexander, and they didn't display any uh, kind of a pin attempt or something. Lots of pin attempts we didn't see like that. That's a kind of that I felt. But I'm not again saying any wrong wrong things about it or negative things about this match, because this was a very excellent match. You can watch it. And this was a show review of Impact Wrestling, and be sure to like, share, subscribe. And I know that this was not a kind of a laid out review, kind of planned review, because I'm just speaking out of my mind. So there may be some up and down here and there in my review. So that's a pattern I'm following right now. So because I wanted to let my feelings uh, come through into at the moment in the podcast. So that's what I wanted to be changing in this in the podcast. So that's what I think. So I think that I'm doing good actually. I'm not self I'm not very saying that I'm very good or something, but I'm just doing enjoying myself doing this review. And I think about that you also are enjoying these reviews. So please be share, please be like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. And until then, be safe, stay energetic, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.